I'm here with two dear friends, Peter and Patricia Ng. We're going to have a conversation which in some ways is a very painful conversation about life, death and illness, but also a conversation which I think can open up the secret of happiness, meaning of peace and joy. A year ago, Patricia, you were diagnosed with cancer of the stomach. This last year has been a pilgrimage in many ways, and could you just give us a little description of the sequence of the illness, the diagnosis and so on, so that how it began? Where were you when you were first diagnosed with it, and did it come as a surprise?
Yes, I guess I had been suffering from some kind of symptoms of the sickness. Had some difficulty swallowing, and but I attributed that to heartburn or getting old, and it was only after a holiday that we had together in July last year, and I came back feeling very bloated, you know, and I thought it was wind, and I was putting all kinds of Chinese oil, and Peter says, no, you have to see the doctor. So in a way he dragged me to the doctor, and I was stunned when the GP told me that there's something serious going on, you know, you better go to the specialist and check it out. And within 3 days I received my complete diagnosis of 4th stage stomach cancer, which has spread to my ovaries, and that was why there was this bloatedness, because there was a big tumor over the 2 ovaries. And the gastroenterologist who did the scope told my husband that if the medicines don't work, I probably will just have 2 months left. And I mean, I didn't expect that, you know, I mean, it's such a shock.
So they started the treatment very quickly?
Yes, straight away, because they didn't think I had much time. So even the treatment that they were doing was supposed to be just palliative, you know, just to ease my symptoms. Yeah, and yeah, I was walking like in a dream for a few days.
You hardly had time to think. Probably Peter was doing a lot of the thinking at that time in a way, because you were, well, both of you must have been so overwhelmed.
Yes, yes. I didn't even want to hear what the doctors had to say, because I just couldn't take it. And I think after the 3 days of bad news, one day after another, with all the medical tests, I told him, you go and listen to all the reports and just tell me slowly so that I can digest it, you know. I mean, yeah, because I'm really such a scaredy cat that I'm not used to listening to bad news about myself, and especially when it's so bad, you know. I just
it's too much.
I can't take it. Yeah,
too much to take.
Can't take it. Yes.
So then you started the treatment. It was chemotherapy.
Yes.
Straight away.
Straight away, yeah.
And
within the same week.
So then you started the chemo treatment, and then what were the next stages in the illness? And you had some setbacks and also some good news.
Yeah. Well, initially the chemo treatments they gave me very heavy doses, because the cancer was at such a bad advanced stage, and it worked. Initially, the secondary ovarian tumors actually shrank, and they were very hopeful that they didn't have to do any surgery on me, you know, because they didn't really want to open me up for anything.
You opened up in different ways.
But in any case, surgery was not an option,
No.
because what Patricia had was this 4th stage cancer in the stomach lining. So surgery would have entailed removing the entire stomach, and that was a highly risky operation with a very high risk. And even if we did that, there was no assurance that the secondary cancer cells could be lodged elsewhere in the body. So the surgery was not an option. And what was left was just the chemotherapy treatment.
And that worked, didn't it, Patricia?
Initially
It
yes,
worked.
yes.
But then you had...
Then the
you
ovarian
did-
tumors came up again.
So you did have to have the surgery.
Yeah, so I had the surgery to remove the ovarian tumors, but luckily it turned out to be easier than the doctors expected, because everything just, according to them, just came up, and what I was dreading turned out to be just a simple 45-minute procedure, operation, and I recovered very quickly, and then they continued with more chemotherapy to maintain the situation, and things went on well for a while until April this year, when again they discovered that the cancer had metastasized in my rectum, and then I had to go for daily radiation, and after like 12 sessions everything became so inflamed that I was constipated, bloated, and I had to go for another surgery to clear up my system, and now I've got a colostomy. You know, it's like a outdoor plumbing, and so I'm still under treatment to continue to treat the rectum cancer, and hopefully everything will work out and they can reverse this colostomy. But I'm okay now.
It's a little difficult as you sit there looking as well as you do to believe what you're saying.
Yeah, nobody believes that I'm undergoing all these medical procedures, you know, and still battling the thing. But I feel fine, you know. I mean, you don't have to be 100% okay to go around normally, you know, and try to look as good as you can.
Are you? What do the doctors say now about the future treatment and prognosis?
I think they're getting more hopeful now, but to me, everything is in the hands of God, and I just take one day at a time as it comes, and I don't want to worry, because worry doesn't help me. It just makes me feel more stressed, and I don't think it's going to help in the treatment of the sickness, you know. So I like to maintain a positive attitude, but of course fear keeps coming in, you know, because you're not sure of the future, and I'm scared of suffering, and I'm scared of dying. So I try to replace this fear with positive thoughts.
It is quite amazing how Patricia has been able to maintain her sanity and a sense of cheerfulness despite the very painful treatment she had to undergo. I mean, I have been with her on every visit to the doctor, and every round of chemotherapy and radiotherapy and surgery. And we must have made, by now, probably 60 or 70 trips to the hospital and to the doctors. Well, she has undergone about 24 rounds of chemotherapy where she has to receive the drug intravenously. And I remembered that the radiotherapy that she had to undergo was about 30 sessions, almost every day. And on top of that, of course, we had the removal of the ovarian tumors, which, you know, when the doctors remove them, they weigh a total of 3 kilograms. And of course, more recently, she has had to undergo the surgery to put in a colostomy. So I'm quite amazed how, despite this treatment that she has undergone, that she's in such a good state physically, but more importantly, her emotional state and the spiritual state of being.